Hello, this is freshly shaven Matthew Robert Payne. One of the girls I've been interacting with today told me to brush my teeth this morning and then said, "Why don't you have a shave too and look handsome?" And so I did that. I used to say I'd be good with my hygiene if I had a wife that could tell me and encourage me to do things. And now I'm having people tell me to brush my teeth every morning and have a shave. I never used to wash my hands after going to the toilet, and they're making me wash my hands after the toilet. They're correcting me. So anyway, good. God bless you, and hope you're happy today. Hope people in heaven, people on earth, people in the extraterrestrial world over in the alien universe, listening to this and enjoy themselves. And if you think I'm crazy, well, I got a certificate to prove that I'm crazy. I take medication that proves that I'm crazy. So, leveling me like you're a maniac is just saying who I am. Uh, I hope you enjoy this. We're interviewing someone from heaven. Tolu tells me with me and her have never talked to this person before. I've never talked to William Shakespeare before yesterday. He totally shocked me, and I really enjoyed that interview. So I don't mind being a medium of people I've never heard before, and different to mediums who just gives hints and clues and little tidbits out of a person's life. I've never seen a medium give like a half an hour statement from the departed one. So get ready for an hour. Oh, Tulu only really goes for about quarter of an hour, like three-quarters of an hour with a person, and she wants to go all her extra interviews. There's the interviews after the interview, and you're probably used to them. A lot of you tell me that you really enjoy those ones when she's talking to Ben and different things. So I'll hand you over to Tulu.
Thank you, Matthew. Let me welcome Papa. Welcome, Papa. Welcome, Jesus. Welcome, Holy Spirit. June, Bethany, the inhabitants of heaven, and the inhabitant of earth. We need to welcome you all, isn't it? That is
Yeah.
the new thing. Our welcome keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I hope you all enjoy today. The person I'm speaking to today is a musician that I really, really love her. I used to love her voice, but she died really young. So I hope she's in the Witchcraft Mountain. I sense she might be there. I'm not sure. So her name is Amy Winehouse.
Oh, I knew you were going for her. Did she have tattoos?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, which means she's a really cool woman. Yeah,
Oh, she
there's
is. She
special cool
is.
people. I don't know if I know any of her songs, but I heard of her. Did she die of an overdose?
Yes.
Yeah, which means she
Yes.
was killed by the Illuminati, because
Wow.
that's the official signature of the Illuminati. People
Wow.
who die of overdoses or suicide.
Wow.
So welcome, Amy. You've got a really nice name. I follow this girl on the internet called Amy, and Amy Dangerfield, and she I can contact her through a thing called Manect and pay $15 American or $12 American because she gives me a discount. I can pay $12 American to send her a message, and she'll read my message and send me a message back. And so I like the name Amy. There was a film about a guy that fell in love with this girl, and I liked the girl, and he asked her out on a date, and she said that she's a lesbian, and it was her way of saying no to him. And he kept on pursuing her, and he said, "Why are you a lesbian?" And she said, "So it gives me options, you know. I can have men or women." And he kept on pursuing her in this film, and ended up being her boyfriend. And that film was called Chasing Amy, and he was definitely chasing her. and I like that film. So there's two. There's two Amy's that I really like, so I've got a feeling, Amy, that I'm going to really love you, and perhaps after this interview, I can still be your friend.
Oh, well, for people that might not know Amy. So Amy Winehouse was born in 1983 and died 2011. Interestingly, I think she died on Ben's birthday, July 23rd of 2011, and was a British songwriter known for her deep, soulful voice. I love her voice and emotionally raw lyrics, blending jazz, soul, and R&B. She rose to global fame with her album Back to Black, which explored themes of love, heartbreak, and personal struggle. Her music stood out for its honesty and vintage sound, earning her multiple awards, including 5 Grammys. Despite her intense talent, Amy's life was marked by well publicized battles with addiction and inner pain. She's remembered as a powerful yet vulnerable artist whose voice carried both brilliance and brokenness, leaving a lasting impact on modern music. So we welcome you, Amy. How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing really good. I'm sort of happy Matthew is in communication with a whole lot of witches and a whole lot of musicians on Earth. Thousands, millions of them are listening to him telepathically. And, I'd imagine 50, 60% of the musicians on Earth would have heard of me, maybe 80%. And I think, like Billie Eilish already said to Matthew, she's going to really look forward to this interview and hearing me speak. And Billie Eilish basically says it really depends on Tolu's questions to see how good this interview is going to be. Uh,
A lot of pressure on me.
no pressure, Tolu. I look forward to speaking and sharing my life with you, my life on earth, but more importantly, my life in heaven. Did this is Matthew? Did Amy have like dark hair? Like did she have black hair?
Yes, longer. Marty, your
Yeah.
eyesight is so good.
Beautiful. She really is beautiful. I'm
Yes, she is.
attracted to her. I like her tattoos. You mightn't know, but people in heaven still have their tattoos because it's part of who they are, you know. So I like her tattoos and I like what she looks like. And she's very slim. She's got a good figure, and
Knew it,
she's
Matthew.
definitely someone I could be into.
I knew it, Matty. This was what you were going to do today. I knew you'd be so excited to speak to Amy. Wow. Man, that's so beautiful. Amy, when you first arrived in heaven, what surprised you most about how you were received?
Uh, the way the way I was celebrated.
Hmm.
On Earth, when you're on Earth, you have, like, if you're married, you have an anniversary. Uh,
Yeah.
when you go to Grammy Awards, you get celebrated. You go up and get the award, and everyone claps you, and people congratulate you and
Yeah.
celebrate you that you've got a Grammy. Um, but you know, some of the key musicians in heaven
Hmm.
knew about me and
Wow.
knew that I was arriving. They knew beforehand that I was arriving, and King David and uh, other musicians, John Lennon,
Yeah.
met me in heaven, outside the gates of heaven, where you arrive and Jesus is there. You have a welcoming party, and some of the most famous musicians that
Hmm.
are in heaven celebrated my arrival, and it just straight away cut off my broken heart that I was dead.
Wow.
I
Wow.
was suddenly happy that I was dead. And I don't think that happens to a lot of people, but that's what happens when you're welcomed into heaven. People who love you celebrate you and welcome you into heaven because it's a hard transition, you know. As someone who practiced witchcraft and was quite into witchcraft because it really worked for me and suited
Wow.
suited my vibe. Um, you know, I was really shocked that I wasn't in hell, but I was in heaven, and it was going to be hard for me to relate to it. And what softened the transition, and I had like a 3 day welcome, like my welcoming party was 3 days, and what softened the transition and made the transition worthwhile is just the love and affection that come from these
Wow.
gifted musicians. You know, I really admired some of John Lennon's songs, not the Beatles songs, but like songs that Matthew has heard of his own private album, like ones where he spoke of his pain. He started opening up and sharing his pain in his solo albums after the Beatles, and really related to him. And uh, I I I related to King David. I'd read the Psalms before. You know, a lot of witches are really spiritual and read the Bible to see what happens. And I
Wow.
found the Psalms had happy Psalms, but they had really sad Psalms. And
Mm.
you know, Billie Eilish knows this, that Matthew can't read the Psalms because they're too sad. And I related to that. You know, when you're really sad and you live a life of hardship and struggle and darkness,
Yeah.
you're attracted to other people's music that is dark,
Wow.
and other people's lyrics and poetry that's dark. And I was a girl that was into poetry, and I like poetry, and I wish I had a lover. I wish I had a man that was romantic with me that would write me poems. I hear you say that Ben used to write your poems, and you know, it just melts my heart. You know, I wish I had a boyfriend that could write me a poem, and so I found uh, King David's Psalms were like poetry, and I out of the 3 days of my welcoming party, I spent a whole day going through the Book of Psalms with David, and he was giving me, you know, ideas. Like one of the Psalms says, I wept all night on my pillow and soaked my pillow, and I was able
Mm.
to ask him what happened there? What made you cry so? Why were you crying so much? What was so painful that you cried all night? And you know, and so yeah, so when I first got to heaven, I was really welcomed, and you know, therapists worked with me and worked with my pain, and you know, I slowly came out of my trauma and my hardship and
Yeah.
my pain. I still got the elements of that. I still got
Yeah.
the memory of that. I can still
Yeah.
speak to people's pain. I can still resonate with people and have empathy
Yeah.
for people who have pain. It hasn't totally gone. It's just healed the sting. I can
Mm.
remember it, but it doesn't sting anymore.
Wow. I love that. Feel the sting like a bee sting. Wow. I know you really experienced struggle with, is it alcohol addiction? I think it was alcohol addiction. I don't know, maybe drug was included as well. But what was it like living with addiction while you were on earth?
Well, it's like you know, trying to live a whole day without going to the toilet. It
Wow.
would be painful, you know.
Yeah.
You'd be in pain until you go and relieve yourself. If
Yeah.
you're on a 8 hour flight on a military cargo plane or something, and it didn't have a toilet, you know, holding it in for 6 hours would be hard. And so living with an addiction is like living with this constant pain that you have to relieve yourself.
Wow.
So it's
Wow.
not it's not a happy thing that you go and put a needle up your arm. It's not a happy thing that you go and drink enough to get smashed. It's, you know, addiction loses its happiness, but you have to do it to relieve the pain.
Wow. And when you look back now, what do you understand about the pain you carry that you didn't have language for on earth?
Well, I had a lot of language on Earth. I shared, Matthew doesn't know the lyrics in my music, but I
Yeah.
shared a lot of my pain in my lyrics. I want to, one of the best things you can do, and Matthew's really good at it, is be very, very transparent and honest and vulnerable with the things you say. And
Yeah.
so you don't have to, uh, you know, you don't have to write a book called Seven Steps to Breaking Out of Addiction. You like books like that, don't you, Tolu? Uh, Seven Steps to Breaking Out of Addiction. And you don't have to write a book on it and teach people how to get free of addiction, because I never did. But
Mm.
but you can set people free and make people happy and comfort people by just sharing your brutal pain with people,
Wow.
because they resonate with your pain. And so many, it was discussed before, but so many of us are in this silent suffering. We're suffering. It's really painful. We're asking God, how is this possible? Why do you allowing this? Why me? And you're suffering, having this real hard time with your pain, and you're totally unaware that other people are suffering like you. You think you're the only one. You seem, you know, removed from other people who are suffering. And you can do, especially if you've got a public voice, you can do a lot of people a lot of good by being brutally honest about the pain that you're going through, and not talking positive things, and not saying I've got an answer, but saying, it breaks my heart when my husband comes out and breaks my nose, really.
Mm.
The sadness I feel with him hurting me is worse than the pain of the broken nose, And you can write brutal lyrics like that, and every woman who's been
Wow.
beaten up by a husband or a boyfriend relates to that broken heart. It's not really the pain of the broken nose, it's the pain that he'd actually do that to you, and they can relate to that. And so yeah, so I encourage you. Billie Eilish. Matthew says he can't listen to your songs because he's got so much sadness in his life. When he finds a good song of yours, he keeps on playing it. But keep on writing the sadness and the bad things in your
Mm.
lyrics, because there's so many broken, hurting young females in the world who are just being healed and encouraged and feeling happy because you write all those sad things.
Wow. 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 What is it like to be a musician on earth? What is it like to be?
It's very stressful.
Mm.
You're always busy. There's pressure. You may write a hit song, and you may have a hit album that does really well, and you get signed to a label, but the pressure never ends, because if you write a hit album and you get a Grammy for the album or something, and you're well recognized and the album really sells well, it doesn't end there. If you want to continue being a musician, you've got to write another album, and there's this massive pressure on you to write an album just as good, you
Wow.
know? Uh, Matthew's heard people say, well, he was a one-hit wonder. And Matthew
Wow.
often replies to those people saying, yeah, that's one more hit than you ever did. And
Wow.
people who say a one-hit wonder have no understanding of music. It's almost impossible to have a hit song. And someone who consistently writes hit songs is a genius, but they've got a whole record label, a lot of money, a lot of marketing, a whole production team behind them. You just can't
Wow.
you just can't be in this world and write a hit song. So if you write an album that goes really well, there's enormous pressure on the next album. And if your next
Wow.
album is okay, then you've got to tour, and it just totally wears you out. You spend so much
Wow.
time on the road, on a bus, in hotel rooms, not in your own bed, meeting
Wow.
strangers, fans. They just want to hug you and kiss you and take a photo with you, but none of them want to give you $20
Mm.
or go out for coffee with you and ask you about your pain and help you with your tears. So there's the pressure of fans, there's the pressure of the tour, there's the pressure of finance,
Wow.
there's constantly people giving you unwanted opinions and objections to your songs, and I don't like this in your song. And people
Wow.
say one thing, one fan says one thing that derogative about a song of yours. They give you their opinion, and you can't get that out of your head for a week or a month. Sometimes some of the fans said things to me that just broke my heart, just
Wow.
stopped me from liking my own song, and
Wow.
it's a lot harder. It's really painful being an artist. You know,
Wow.
you love creating the music and you create real art, but if you meet enough fans and talk to enough fans, they'll totally destroy what you think of your music, you know?
Wow.
And
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
sorry, I carry a lot of pain, and you
Hmm.
only you only get rid of the pain if you're willing to submit to the therapy, and therapy is painful. And so yeah, I can remember, it's not as glamorous, and you got to smile for the photos, and you got to spend a fortune on clothes, and always be keeping up with your fashion, and make sure that you haven't put on weight, and make sure you got the best dresses on, and make sure you smile when paparazzi are taking photos, and make sure you don't read what they say about you. And the press says such terrible things about you, and everyone's got a fucking opinion, and it's
Wow.
just so annoying. It's so good
Wow.
to sit down with a childhood friend, or someone that you know socially, who loves you, and be able to talk about your songs, and for them to give you honest feedback about how they really love that song, and that they've been feeling really sad for years until that song came out and it gave them hope. You got to hear
Wow.
stories. You got to hear stories like that from time to time to keep you alive, to keep you happy. And I'll tell you another thing about overdoses. Matthew doesn't know
Hmm.
the real truth about my overdose, but I'll tell you one thing: a lot of overdoses are suicide.
Wow. It was intentional.
Well, a lot of, I'm not saying for myself, I'm not going to upset the other musicians that are listening, but, a lot of, especially heroin addicts, know how much heroin is good for them, knows how much heroin will kill them, and it's a very peaceful way to die. You just pass out. And so a lot of heroin addicts, when they've had enough, instead of going to rehab and the torture of withdrawal, they just give themselves a hot shot and have a peaceful exit.
Wow. Have a peaceful exit. My God. People just see the fame, isn't it? They don't see the pain behind the fame.
No
I was,
one, in this world, it's sad. The media and podcasts, and Matthew,
yeah.
these musicians have been in his house all day, and he's just been watching YouTube videos about the war. People, people are just so interested in themselves.
Wow.
There's not many people in the world that you can truly open up to, because people don't really care. And fans, they're a
Okay.
strange sort of people. They sort of idolize you, and they're so happy to meet you, and they're so happy to tell you about the songs that they love of yours, and they want to talk to you, but they just want to meet you because you're an idol. But
Mm.
it's hard for fans to treat you as a real friend and as a human being, and to actually say you've been on tour for 6 months. Is it really wearing you down? Do you wish you could
Wow.
stop? You wish you could just have a week in your own bed? They never ask a question like
That's
that,
it.
like a real
Wow.
question. They're sort of so in fan mode. They think you're an idol, so it's not a
That's
reality. You live outside of reality. You need your childhood friends or someone who really knows you to have a normal conversation. The conversations you have aren't normal, and
Wow.
when interviewers are interviewing you, it's all fake. It's, you can't tell them the truth. Like, honestly, I've had enough. If I died tonight, I'd be really happy. If you said
Oh,
that, they'd be all over the press and album sales would go and your popularity would go. So you've got to hold in the truth and you've got to process your insults and you've got to live with your pain. And if you're lucky, you've got a bottle you can drink from, or
hmm.
you've got a shot of heroin you can take, and you wish for a better afterlife than your normal afterlife. So, you know,
Wow.
so
Wow.
success doesn't make you happy.
Hmm. Oh,
You know,
wow.
King David, I've met him. He's a friend of mine in heaven. He was the king of Israel, so the most powerful. Like Matthew's got no time for evil now. He wished Iran would drop a nuclear bomb on Israel, but he was the king of God's favorite country, and yet he was crying in the palace
Wow.
all
Wow.
night. And he had so much pressure, had such a hard life, and he was the king.
Hmm.
And so, success doesn't stop pain.
Wow. People don't see it that way. Michael Jackson's, I think there's a movie that is going to come out about Michael
In
Jackson's
a couple
life.
of months, yeah.
I think maybe they keep advertising. I keep seeing on YouTube. And this guy that is currently playing the role of Michael, the guy said all of his body is aching him just to try and be able to dance like Michael danced. And as the guy was saying all of this, he said he has practiced every day just to perfect it. That's so difficult to be able to dance the way Michael dances. And I was thinking, what pain Michael must have endured to do all of those things, isn't it, Amy? We just shout, oh, but we don't know the practice, everything that's gone in to be who Michael was while he was on earth.
Yeah, I've been, especially to use a Christian word, I've been specially blessed
Hmm.
for God to have, like the Holy Spirit, uh, to have foreknowledge and forearranged for me to have close friends that were really popular musicians. And I've spent a
Wow.
lot of time with Michael and King David and John Lennon and Prince and famous musicians. And they all shared the same story of the hardship of success,
Hmm.
the pain that success brings into your life, the cost, the tremendous personal and spiritual cost to success. And
Wow.
even Diana, spending time with Diana, you know, ask her certain questions, and broken people can ask good questions.
Yeah.
Interviews come down to the quality questions, and when you're broken and you've had a broken life, you don't talk about bullshit. You talk about real things. And I
Absolutely.
often in my conversations, I'm a bit of a fan of Diana, and
Hmm.
often in my conversations, I ask questions because I truly want to know. And she just breaks down in tears because no one's
Wow.
ever asked her that question. And
Wow. Wow.
there's so much pain. There's there's this uh, there's this fallacy. There's this lie. There's this religious teaching on
Hmm.
earth that says there's no pain in heaven, and it's so there's so many tears in heaven and so many people crying.
Wow. Currently King Charles is suffering with cancer, and the cancer is terminal. And he still keeps going out to perform his duties. And apparently, it was said on the media yesterday that Queen Camilla wants him to stop because he's really going through pain, he's suffering, but he doesn't want to let go. When you see him outside now, it doesn't look really nice. His hand is swollen. You could see it's all over him that he's currently going through pain. But because he's a king, it still has to come out, irrespective of the agony that he's going through.
It's so sad, Tolu. I wish people don't read memoirs. People don't read biographies.
Yeah.
It's like the most less read genre of books out there, writing a memoir. But it's sad that I wish more people would speak up about the pain of success, the trauma of being successful, the hardship of being successful. But as an artist, you can't speak honestly about it because it'll just ruin record sales.
Wow.
It'll just like make people think that you're ungracious. Like you've got all this money, you got all this success. How dare
Yes.
you complain? Like who do you think you are complaining? Oh, you've
Wow.
got it so bad. And
Wow.
yeah, we have got it so bad. Why can't we
Wow.
speak up? Why can't we be honest? But
Hmm.
there's so much pressure on shut your mouth and do another concert and write another song. And
Absolutely.
everyone in the world are prostitutes to money.
Mm.
You know, prostitutes are about the only honest people who sell themselves for money and honest about it. There's no hidden agenda with a prostitute. You wanna sleep with me? $800, right?
Mm.
There's no bullshit, you know. But everyone else is full of bullshit, and they're all slaves, and they're prostitutes to money.
Wow. You were right what you said that you cannot even be sincere to people and tell them what you're going through. Because I remember when King Charles came out, I think maybe 18 months or 2 years ago now, that he's suffering from cancer. A lot of people blamed him. Why did he should have kept it in and not be open about it? And how does it become a problem? You telling your country that you're ruling that I'm in pain, I'm going through this. But people don't want to know. They just want you to be a king. They
Yeah,
just want you to continue to
they just want
perform.
you to be their hero with no problems and no regrets and no struggles. They just want you to be a fake.
Absolutely. Oh, well, that's I always think this only exists in religion, but it exists in life, isn't it?
It exists in the
To
whole world.
perform.
I can't tell you. I honestly can't tell you much about the Christian faith. I've met the stars of the Jewish faith and the stars of Christianity. That they've been really good to me. Michael is a really profound, committed Christian. But to be honest, in a general sense, I've got no time for Christians in heaven. They walk
Wow.
around with their nose in the air and they think they're better than everyone else. And I'm really proud to introduce myself as the witch. And when people reject me, I basically say under my breath, "Oh, fuck you too." And yeah, so yeah,
God, are you close to Tiffany?
yeah, she's beautiful. I don't swing. I don't swing lesbian like I'm totally into guys, but if I was into women, I'd be into Tiffany. Yeah. She's very powerful, she's very pretty, and she's very gorgeous, and she's very giving with her time, and she's
Oh.
has a lot of empathy, and she's born to be that leader. She's coming down to earth and meeting with all the witches that are listening to these broadcasts and introducing herself, and June is coming down and meeting the witches, and uh, when Matthew teaches 2 or 3 times a day, June comes in the back of it and preaches, and Epstein preaches, and Matthew's not the only one using the broadcast. Like Matthew's got a
Wow.
broadcast of millions of people as subscribers and listen to him every day, but it's just not Matthew speaking over that podcast. It's Epstein and June and Tiffany and everyone's preaching into it and teach. And they're not preaching Christianity. They're teaching how to better yourself and how to cope with pain and how to build networks and all useful information for the people. And yeah, so.
Wow.
It was a surprise for Matthew to hear that yesterday that he wasn't the only one talking to them all. And but June and Epstein and Tiffany and other speakers, Billy Graham, they're listening to every message of Matthew's and coming in to reinforce that and open that
Wow.
up. So Matthew's the main speaker, but they're coming in to second that and third that. Just like Matthew complains that you ask the same question 100 times. Well, Matthew preaches a message and it gets preached another 20 times in different ways. And
Wow.
yeah,
Well, I know you've answered the I think in a way you've answered this question, but I still want to ask. Did you feel seen by people or did you feel consumed by what they needed from you?
I was invisible.
Wow.
Uh, you know, uh, you don't have time in a concert to sit down with a fan and go and have a coffee with them, have like a 1 hour conversation, have a real connection. I'm
Yeah.
sure, the fans who told me such and such song really touched me. Thank you. That's all you
Mm.
hear as you're signing autographs. And if I got an hour with that girl, I'd be able to say what lyric in that song really touched me, what
Wow.
verse in that song really touched you, and why did that touch you? What did you go through? So I could have made really good connections and been seen, but there's no time. You're just there
Mm.
to sign autographs and meet people, and you're the hero and they're the fan, and it's a really weird sort of love.
Uh,
Je-
it-
Jeremy, Jeremy listens, and Ronald listens. Got the four people that listen to these interviews. They're not fans; they're real friends, right?
wow.
You get to connect with them, and they say good things, and they give really good feedback, and they've proven to be really good friends. But the dynamic with fans is totally different, and you don't have the time to grab one of the fans off the autograph thing and take them for a coffee. And
Wow.
things are different in heaven. You can do a concert in heaven for 2 hours, and then the whole stadium waits and they play your music and they play light shows and there's ballerinas and people do performances after your concert and people wait in line to talk to you and you can spend 5 minutes with people saying hello and answering their questions and um, God stretches the time so you spend only an hour in heaven time greeting people, but it was actually 10 hours, but
Wow.
it only felt an hour to you. So people have things, but I make a point
Mm.
in the concert because I'm led by the Holy Spirit, I'm led by June. Um, I make a point of allowing the Holy Spirit to tell me which person, and every concert, I tell a person wait there, and after I finished meeting people, we'll go out for dinner. And that fan is the one that God really wanted to touch and really bless. And I'm able to go out for dinner for an hour and a half with one of the fans and ask them all that questions. Why does that touch you?
Mm.
And what lyric do you like in that song? And you're able to build connections with people in heaven. There's time for that, but on earth there's no time.
Mm.
You can't
Wow.
you can't spend hours with your fans after the concert because you got to get to bed because you're going to be on the road early the next morning and you're going to be traveling to the next city and you've got to do rehearsals and you got to do the concert and it's just there's a clock on you and
Yeah.
when you finish the tour, there's pressure on you to write another album, and there's always
Wow.
pressure on you to write a hit. You know, what if
Wow.
what if you write good songs and they're not hits? Does a song have to be a hit to have not a good message? You know, there's plenty of uh, there's plenty of King David's psalms that are good psalms, but they're not hits. They're not the favorite
Wow.
ones, but
Wow.
they're real messages. You know, what what does something have to be a hit and be popular to be communicating the
Absolutely.
truth?
Absolutely. Wow. 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 A lot of musicians, they go through a lot. I notice a lot of them live in luxurious buses because that's their home. They're always on the road and
Yeah,
they've made it comfortable. They were showing us a lot of the celebrities' buses, so luxurious. Like they spend like $1 million. Everything is inside, but they are always on the road.
yeah.
And
I'll just go to the toilet while Matthew
okay.
go to the toilet. Matthew wondered why his whole house was full of musicians. Now he knows.
Wow.
Yeah, for a couple of hours, Matthews had a whole lot of musicians in his house, and he met this new woman today, Patricia, and she said, "Oh, you wouldn't be able to believe it, the level of musicians that are in your house at the moment." Matthew doesn't know many musicians, so he can't really start conversations with them because even if he knew who they were, he wouldn't know what to talk about because he doesn't know their music. So he felt really rude
Wow.
sitting here
I,
for hours with people in his room, but now they're all watching you and they're all here live to see the interview. And it's like they've got a front row seat to this interview. And, you know, I'm not, when they see Matthew on the screen here, they're not seeing Matthew, they're seeing me.
wow.
I'm talking live to him from heaven.
Wow. Man, I respect you musicians now. You go through a lot. As you were describing the fan dynamics, they just want you to be happy all the time. They want you to release the best song. They don't care about how you're feeling. All I'm thinking about is God, 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 God. That do we have the same dynamic with God? Like
Yeah.
fan type of dynamic where you just want to use God. You don't care about how he feels. You don't even think it deserves to be asked, how are you feeling, Papa? It's just like, I come, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. And when God doesn't give it to you, you're hungry with God. It's that kind of dynamic. It's
Yeah.
just being used.
John, John Lennon's a good friend of mine, and from time to time, when we've been together, he's taken me to meet God, and uh, God's so nice and full of questions. And ask yourself, and He knows the history of my life, and He knows who I am, and He's a good interviewer. He asks he asks the questions that bring tears to your eyes, and He really sees you. And in the presence of God, you know you're seen and you're loved and accepted, and he
Wow.
knows, he knows all the time I ate baby's blood and ate baby's flesh and drank their blood, and he knows all the evil that I did. But there's none of that judgment in his eyes.
Hmm.
There's just love
Wow.
and acceptance.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, have you ever known a person, well, you would have known your husband, but you can be in a room and not talking but still communicating. Like they know you and they love you. You don't have to say anything. You're accepted. You're loved. Well, you can sit in the presence of God and not even say anything and just know that He loves you. And,
Oh,
just His demeanor, just the way He's looking, the way He's reacting, is just proving to you that He loves you and He accepts you. Yeah.
wow.
Some people
Wow.
can't sit opposite another person without talking. Like there's a silence and they've got to fill the gap and say something stupid.
Wow.
God feels no need to fill the gap when there's silence.
Wow. Wow. I wish more people understand musicians. There's a British musician that died, I think 18 months or so ago, Liam Payne. When that guy died, I really felt so sad because the way he died wasn't it? I think he was overdosed or something as well and fell off the balcony. This is someone that had about 30 or 31 million in his account. But that was not relevant. The success, the money, they still did not bring him joy. It's really sad, isn't it? The
Yeah.
fame.
Yeah, it's you know, one of the popular things in life is to have possessions, to be
Yeah,
good looking,
yeah,
to be wealthy,
yeah.
to be fulfilled. You can have all those things and still be desperately sad.
Wow. Desperately sad. God has all of those things, don't you think? He has the resources. And he was still really, really sad.
Yeah,
Desperately sad.
yeah. God used to talk to me and then ask me to play some of my songs,
Oh, I
and
love you.
I'd, I'd play songs that I thought would touch him, and sometimes I'd see him smiling, and sometimes I'd see him crying.
Hmm.
And the songs that I thought would make him happy made him cry, and
Wow.
the songs that I thought might made him uh, cry made him smile. And I
Wow.
never really understood it till today. My sad songs made him happy because he feels that sad too.
Wow.
My happy songs made him sad because he's so desperately sad.
Wow. Wow.
So I never knew that till today. That was
How
a
come?
mystery. That was a mystery to me. Like I played my really sad songs and he'd smile. I played my really happy songs and he'd cry. I said, "What sort of fucked up musician am I? I can't even pick a song to like make God happy."
Wow. It's because it carries a lot of pain.
Yeah.
It, and people don't get it. People don't understand God. No one thing is going through that depth of pain that he goes through now. Were you surprised that God was happy to listen to your music?
He asked me. Jesus is
Oh,
like that too. If you're a musician, Jesus will ask you to play your song. And
wow.
the best thing you can hear in heaven, because I released my songs in the market there. The best sound you can ever hear in heaven is hearing Jesus sing one of your songs. And
Oh,
he's not singing your hit. Most of the time he's not singing your hit. The song that went best in heaven. He's singing a more meaningful song that's deeper, that's more emotional and doesn't make people feel as happy as your hits. And they're my favorite songs. They're my best songs.
wow, wow,
And
wow.
it makes me so happy that he relates to that song and he knows the words and he knows you're listening. He'll just walk past you singing your song and you don't even talk to him. He knows that you're listening and it's his way of saying, I saw that song. I like that song. I approved of that song. That song makes me happy. And
Oh,
no words have to be explained. That's my Jesus. Do you know
oh,
in witchcraft you're taught that he's Satan and and Lucifer is God, and
Yeah.
yeah, you only need a couple of months in heaven to realize that's total BS, you know.
Wow. You've got a beautiful voice, Amy. You know that. That's so unique. I love your voice. You, it's just so different. It's like God just gave you this voice that's so special. I don't know whether Matthew has listened to your music a lot, but I love listening, especially the one that you sang about rehab. Oh, I love that one. I love that song. And that was you expressing your pain in there, isn't it?
Yeah, was it about the Rahab the prostitute?
Yeah, it was like they tell you to go to rehab and you say no, no, no.
Mm.
Do you remember? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember, but Matthew doesn't remember, and we use his intellect. There was even in my happy songs, there was pain in the happy songs too. My life was marked by pain, and even
Wow,
even when I was writing like a pop song or a love song, it
wow,
always had a lyric or two that expressed pain.
wow,
And
wow, wow, wow,
only people truly in pain would recognize that. You know,
wow.
one of the girls said, Patricia said to Matthew when he went to the toilet, that you're so profound to listen to. I never knew you had such extensive knowledge on musicians and what it's like to be a performer. You say about yourself that you're really narrow-minded and you only know about Christianity, but I object to that. You seem to have a general knowledge of a lot of things.
Wow. Yes, it does. It does. It's quite knowledgeable. Have you always watched Matthew for a long time in heaven?
Uh, I've only uh, I've only been hearing Matthew on the airwaves for 3 weeks, and it took me 3 weeks. I'm not. Who you talking to, Amy or Patricia?
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. I was Amy my question to boy.
Oh
Is it
yeah, I've known Matthew since you started your broadcast in heaven. But Patricia has only heard Matthew for 3 weeks since Epstein opened up the broadcast, and she said that she's in the top five people in the Illuminati in the world. Like she's one of the most popular, and the other four people are so evil that they'd never get close to Matthew. But
wow.
she's one of the most powerful, and she had to listen for 3 weeks to have the courage to approach him because
Wow.
she didn't want to scare him off. And
Wow.
you know, that's how it is with God's love. Once you've experienced it. Yeah, Jesus is just so beautiful and God is
Wow.
so beautiful, but we always connect and resonate on the pain, you know.
Hmm.
I'm able to, sometimes I just, it's only John because John's got access to God.
Hmm.
Not everyone has got access to God. And of course, John is one of God's friends, and Michael is one of God's friends, and your husband, Ben, is one of God's friends. You can only get access to God face to face if you know one of them well. And so I'm fortunate, you know.
Wow.
I can understand why God hasn't got friends because he, you know, he can't really explain that he's good company. You know.
Wow. Wow.
But if you've been through a lot of pain in your life and you still got pain in your life, you can resonate really well. You've got a lot in common.
Yes. Will you say God is addicted to being sad?
Uh, he's he's so used to the feeling he can't get rid of it.
That's sad.
It's like his natural state. Like, when have you ever known Matthew not to be tired?
Oh, I'm used to that by now.
Yeah,
Even I
well,
tell my don't
that's
tell me.
it, like God is used to being sad, and you
Wow.
know. as his natural state being sad. Just like Matthew to be always tired or God's
Yeah.
always sad. And he finds it unnatural to be getting
Happy.
ice creams and laughing. And
Wow.
just like Matthew like gets money and goes to Cyber Friends, and you'll be
Mm.
proud of him that he hasn't spent money on Cyber Friends for 4 days now, 5 days, and he's getting told off the girls. There's not one of them, Matthew, that loves you. They just love your money.
Absolutely.
And one of the girls was telling him today, they're worse than whores. A whore will take your clothes off and you can have sex with them and have like a 5 minute conversation. These girls will only let you talk to them if you give them money. They're not your friends.
Matthew's addicted to it. He'll still go back.
Yeah,
And that,
he's working on surprising you.
oh, wow, that
Like
was,
announcing to you one time, I haven't been there for a month. And that'll be a day of celebration. You feel, well, the second coming must be close because I just saw a miracle.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Because I know that speaking to Matthew doesn't work. I've even told Matthew, said, Matthew, maybe you need to be given money bit by bit. When you have only a certain amount per time that will only go for your takeaway, maybe you would not spend money on cyber friends. Because Matthew blows the money just into the total. I've been speaking to this lady 90 cents per minute. That's a lot of money. Well, I understand Matthew. And that's why, sometimes, Amy, I'm worried for Papa that I don't want him to snap back into his old self.
He asked you, he asked you, uh,
Mm.
will you still love him if he does?
Oh, of course. I will always love him.
Yeah.
I will always
He'll
love him.
try his best, but he can't promise anything. He's looking hopeful at the moment, but I remember he was happy for a couple of weeks and then he got sad that one day and
Yeah.
he needed to be turned around. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
it's how it is to break out of a habit. You're so used to feeling bad and hopeless that your habit makes you feel sad and hopeless. So if you get free of your habit, then what's going to make you feel sad and hopeless? Like you miss
Wow.
that and you really need to feel sad and hopeless. And how are you going to
Wow.
do that without like spending all your money and feeling like a loser? So it's like a powerful dynamic. You can take the needle out of a heroin addict's arm and then you've got to give him a reason for living because that was the only thing keeping him alive.
Wow. Papa will always love you. We will always love you. I know I know he's going to get there. He might take a long time, but I'm not losing hope. He's going to get there. Because all the things that are happening in heaven now is something I've imagined for a long time, but I never knew it could come to pass. So it's so beautiful to see all this transformation going on. So Papa will get there. We just need to be patient with him. I understand that now. Do you think your addiction, did it feel like a choice? Or did it feel like something that slowly took authority over your life?
Do you know when a baby needs to feed?
Yeah,
But
I'm still here.
when a baby needs to feed and it starts to cry,
Yeah.
and the only thing that brings the baby comfort and stops him crying is putting in a bottle in their mouth.
Yes.
Well, I was in distress and crying in pain. Then I come across drugs, and that's the only thing that gave me comfort. Uh, so it
Wow.
was hard to stop that comfort.
Wow.
drug addiction isn't a bad thing. It's just a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some men feel so bad about themselves and feel so hopeless that they beat their wives up.
Wow.
It's a coping mechanism. The wives
Oh,
need to leave them, and say to them, I'll come back when you've been off the alcohol for a year, and give them an incentive. But most of those drunks won't wait a year and won't go into rehab. They'll just find another girlfriend to beat.
wow.
Really is sad, because everyone started as an innocent baby. It's
Wow.
it's the bad things that happen to innocent babies,
Yeah.
innocent children that turns them into addicts.
Wow.
Everyone's just trying to cope. Everyone is just trying to be seen. And
Mm.
most musicians are writing songs so people can see them and
Wow.
understand them.
Wow. Man, if you could speak to your younger self, what would you say to her?
Do everything the same as that you did.
Wow.
Just I would say to my younger self, just be authentic, just be you. No
Just
matter
be.
no matter how hard it is, just be you. Don't
Wow.
pretend. Don't put on a face. Don't try and
Wow.
please people. Just be yourself.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Because Matthew doesn't wear a face. What he
No.
says to you is true. It's real. Sometimes too real. Sometimes too graphic. It gives you information that you don't want to hear, you know?
It was a little bit strange when I was cutting Ben and Ben was real. There was nothing eating. I'm like, just try a little bit. Try and pretend a little bit. Because it was so raw to me. Like, just be another person. But yeah, but maybe it's a prophet thing to be real. Don't know. Wow. You know, did you ever feel drawn to God while you were on the half?
No, because I've had bad experiences and I didn't believe there was a loving God that would have allowed the things that
Wow.
happened to me to happen. And, I met Christians and they talked about some God, but
Yeah.
most Christians I met were jerks. And all the
Wow.
Christians I met had an agenda to save me and make me say the prayer. I tried to be friends with them. I tried to tell them that I had a different faith and I didn't believe in their faith. I had no interest in their faith. I tried to be kind and gracious to them, but I eventually had to insult them and tell them to piss off. Um,
Hmm.
so yeah, Matthew did a teaching about that today. How
Wow.
to how to give a Christian a slap in the face. And
Part two, I love it. You should, that would be a good book to write, don't you think? How to give a Christian slap at the face. I love those titles that
it was just like a 29-minute video, so I couldn't really
Matthew.
make it out of it.
Oh, I could, but I'm not interested. But I could. Wow. How do you feel now in heaven?
Well, the Jesus presented in Christianity and the
Mm.
God presented in Christianity and they're totally different to what's real, the real Jesus and the real God. And I want to
Wow.
assure you, all you musicians listening and all you witches and prostitutes, you know, if you want to see God, if you want to understand God and see Jesus, just listen to Matthew and think, would you like a God like Matthew? If you take away the fat and the diabetes and the mental illness, just imagine Matthew without all those things, and you've basically met God.
Wow. That means that God is broken like Humpty Dumpty. Don't you think?
Yeah, well, it's not a it's not a popular thing
Mm.
for God to officially put himself in therapy, but he's allowed that with your interviews. And
Mm.
he was in therapy when you interviewed him for a couple of years, and every Friday he enters another level. You had, you know, a few days ago he spoke for a while, and it was the most honest he's ever been. It's not as though he's been dishonest. He just came out of hiding a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't think I needed to know that day one. I need to be able to get to a stage I can receive that as well. So I'm grateful that God cares about my heart as well, because I was very religious. Don't forget the beginning of my journey. I was a religious person. My understanding of God was totally different. So the God I now know now is so different than the God I knew at the beginning. Just like what you said as well. I've experienced that in these conversations. So it was just yesterday's art day, that God said it was it was a failure, something like that.
Yeah,
And I'm like, God, you don't say that. It's jarring for me to hear that. But at the same time, I'm grateful that God said that.
yeah,
I'm grateful for his vulnerability, for his transparency, because he even makes me to love him more.
yeah.
Wow.
God says I'm not that great. I'm fallible just like humans.
Yeah.
I'm
Is
not
that
perfect. I'm not perfect.
wow? We thought God was perfect. We didn't think of when you think about God, you're not thinking of God being fallible. No. You think it's all perfect, is in charge. Just like the musicians, they need to be happy all the time. They need to be ready for the fan. It's like we just assume that God needs to be ready for us wherever we say we want. He needs to do that for us. It's sad, but I'm glad
Since
to
I've been in heaven, I
yeah.
realise I'm a lot like Matthew. I've never asked for anything.
Mm. And why was that?
I'm just happy with what I've got.
Mm.
And you know, heaven reads my mind. When I wish for something, I get it.
Wow. Wow.
This is this is my biggest dream. I've been watching these interviews for years, and
Wow.
I was thinking to myself, you know, if there was one interview I'd like to do, I'd like to do an interview with Tolu. I remember
Wow.
way back at the beginning of this interview, it was said that, the musicians are really looking forward to this interview. It really depends on Toulouse questions, whether it'll be good. And that was pressure for you. And it turned out really well. They're very
Yeah.
happy.
Oh, that's so good. Hamin, when your name came to me yesterday, I keep pushing it away. I'm like, no, Amy. But I'm like, I love Amy. But how will you want to speak to Amy? Ah, so there was a little bit of wrestling with Amy, but I've learned to listen to the Holy Spirit irrespective of however I'm feeling. And it's usually the best interviews when I come through. Wow. How is King David
Seems,
like?
seems I'll answer that in a second. Seems that the Holy Spirit is giving you the more risque interviews now, the ones
Yeah.
that you're pushing away a couple of times.
Yeah.
King
Yeah.
David, did you know Matthew did an interview with King David? He doesn't know if he did it with you or did it by himself, but King David has a room with 100 pianos and teaches people music and how to write music, and
Wow.
he enters songs into the competitions, but it's often his students that are winning the awards in heaven because he's taught them really well. And so instead of being the star in his gift in music, he's a star as a teacher. And yeah, he's a wonderful teacher. He's got a lot of grace, and you know, Matthew doesn't know how many wives he has, but had on earth, but he's got a lot more in heaven. And there's
Six.
there's so many women that want to be his wife in heaven, and
Wow.
you know, if you got an extraordinary character, God will allow you to be the husband to as many wives as you feel you can cope with.
Wow. Man, are women allowed to be wives to as many husbands they can cope with as well?
They could,
Not
but
that
they don't. They could, but they don't.
I wanted to say if men are
Just
allowed, women should be allowed.
women would be schizophrenic because they'd have a they'd be have a hard time doing the will of three of their husbands because they'd be conflicting wills, you know.
You're right. You're right. But there are families now like that on Earth.
There could
When
there could be there could be women who had multiple husbands, but it is possible. But I don't know of a relationship like that in heaven.
wow, I wouldn't support that either. It's not made for women. Men can survive that easily, but women, wow. So how's your music going now in them? How do you experience
I
music?
write ballads, write love songs and about love and giving,
Wow.
empathy and compassion and all the fruit of the spirit and good godly things. But my music isn't overtly Christian. Yeah,
Mm, I understand that. But do you still sing from pain? Or has your sound transformed into something different?
combination.
Combination. Mm, wow.
Because there's still people going through pain in heaven, and I want my music to resonate. I can most easily resonate with people who've experienced pain than I can people
Yeah.
who've experienced happiness. Like here I was trying to make God happy, singing my happy songs, and I make him cry. Singing
Wow.
some sad songs that made him smile. It's
Wow.
not until this interview that I really realized what was happening there. So
Wow.
the best
Wow.
thing you can come to grips with is to say you're not an expert and
Mm.
you've got things to learn, you know? If you keep yourself in that heart posture, anything is possible.
Oh, wow. I believe now. I believe. You know, the world knew Amy Winehouse, but who are you when all expectations are gone?
I'm a really deep person. I
Mm.
write really well in journals. You know, I should have the courage to publish my journals, and perhaps if Matthew becomes my friend, he could twist my arm a little bit, to become more transparent because my
Yeah.
journals are really transparent. And I like one of the relaxing things I do is write poetry and
Wow.
not lyrics to songs, but poems. And another thing I relax is watch watch TV, watch movies and TV shows. And another thing I do to relax is eat. I like spending time with people and having time with people over a meal.
Mm.
Um, and I especially like reading novels.
Wow. That's good. And what part of you were eating on earth that are now fully alive in heaven?
I was uh, I was very. I didn't wear faces. I didn't put on a pretense. I wasn't purposely hidden, but like any genius, I was hidden.
Wow. Wow.
I tried to be seen. I tried uh, to relate to people and for people to see me. I tried my best, but people just didn't see me because that's the
Mm.
problem of being a star is no one takes you seriously. They're all fans. You're an
Wow.
idol to them. You're not someone that they would consider themselves worthy to be your friends, but they don't treat you like a friend, they treat you like an idol.
Wow.
And all
Wow.
the other musicians you're in competition with, they don't put their arm around you, encourage you. They're
Mm.
secretly planning to have a better album than you and outdo
Wow.
you at the Grammys. And everyone seems like they're smiling and happy at the Grammys, but they're all seriously competing with each other. And
Wow.
when you get the Grammy and they don't, they're pissed off with you. And
Wow.
they might, people are so fake they wear smiles and say, good on you, you really deserve to win that. But inside they say, fuck you, you won it again, you bitch, you know? And so it's a really fake world. And especially when you're honest and transparent, it's very heartbreaking because
Mm.
the stark reality of life is everyone loves themselves and into themselves. And so
Wow.
there's just this, you're just chained to this hamster wheel, and you know,
Wow.
being a successful musician on earth is very hard, and it's a lot of hard work, and there's no real thanks for it. Have you ever walked out to your street and honestly thanked the man taking out your garbage? Thank you for doing this, right?
Mm.
You're a garbage man. Like as a musician, you're just a slave. You're just a garbage man, right? Helping people process their garbage. You never
Wow.
truly thanked for your contribution.
My God. I love that analogy. You are a
Yeah, we
garbage.
know you like analogies. I thought
Oh
as I shared that one, you'd like that one.
my God. That was so profound, Amy. Man,
And it
what would
wouldn't
you
take much. Now that I've said that, you can hear the garbage truck come up your road. It's not going to take much for you, all you
say?
girls and men on earth that are listening, to walk out in the street when you hear the garbage truck and go out and put your hand on the guy's shoulder and say, I so appreciate you taking out my garbage. You come in the dead of the
Wow.
night, early in the morning. It must be a terrible, stinky job. I just want to share with you that I really appreciate you and thank you so much. My life would be a mess if you weren't taking this garbage out each week. And,
Wow.
I know you do a hard work and they're hard shifts and you probably don't get paid a lot. But I just want to personally let you know I appreciate you. You
Wow.
can totally transform a person's life. And, the garbage man that you approach. Maybe having a hard marriage, or he's sick, his child may be sick, or petrol may be too much for him. He may be really struggling, really having a hard day, and he needs that encouragement to come from you that day. And
Wow.
yeah, so us musicians, we need encouragement. We need someone to stop treating us like a star, stop being a fan, and really see us and thank us for our work.
Wow. Will you say God is a garbage man as well?
You you already know the answers to your questions, don't you?
I do, but it bear repeating.
Yeah, he's a garbage man. But
Wow.
he's hidden. He doesn't come along this street. He 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 uh he just takes out the garbage without you ever knowing him.
Yeah. He just does it. He just
God
does
is
it.
in such a precarious position that he's
Oh.
hidden in a ball of light to keep people away from him.
Wow.
Can you imagine being in such a state of pain? The only
That-
people that can recognize you and see you is the people that the Holy Spirit knows that are going to be good to you.
Wow.
And if a lot of musicians, Billy really relates to that. Billie Eilish would says that she would love that she could just walk down the street and be invisible, and only the people that are going to really bless her and encourage her can see her. She
Hmm.
she'd, she'd go out for walks every day in cities just to meet those people that could see her and bless her. But That's not how fucking life is, she said. It's,
Hmm.
a whole lot of raving fans that want to take up your time and take a fucking photo with you. And they don't take a photo with you because they want to make you happy and you appear on the Facebook wall. They're taking a photo with you because, hey, I met Billie Eilish and aren't I important?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Be jealous of me, you didn't meet
Hmm.
her. And
Wow. 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 Amy, I really enjoy speaking with you. You know, maybe sometimes when I'm wrestling with a person, that means it is going to be a great interview. What will you say to someone who feels trapped in addiction right now?
just keep on using your addiction until you've learned the lesson you need to learn.
Mm. Wow.
Don't feel guilty about self-medicating your pain.
Mm. Wow.
And if you want to get free of the addiction, before you try and get free, find a therapist through recommendations. Approach the government agencies that deal with drugs and ask them for a recommendation of the best therapist and spend some of your money seeing them and prepare yourself for that transition because living without drugs is going to be harder for you than living with the drug.
Hmm. Wow. What do you wish people understood about pain instead of judging it?
It ends when you die.
Wow.
Well, there's still pain in heaven, but life is
Is there?
a whole lot better in heaven. And you don't have to be fearful of heaven or scared of God or scared of
Hmm.
Jesus because Christians have got no idea who those people are.
Wow.
And if they did have an idea, they'd be really loving and accepting to you and they wouldn't be forcing you to say the prayer. They'd know the truth about things. But Christians are so blind and dumb and stupid. And yeah,
Hmm.
I apologize, Jeremy, who listens to Matthew's videos, and he says all the Christians he's met have been nice people, and
Hmm.
they probably would be nice to you, Jeremy, until you start sharing profound truths, and
You're right.
then you'll see the swords come out. Um,
Yeah, you're right. If you could, if your life could be rewritten in one sentence from Evan's perspective, what will he say?
Sadness endures for the night, but joy comes in the morning.
Wow. I love that.
To quote
Weeping may endure.
to quote someone else,
That's so beautiful. But joy comes in the morning.
sadness may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning.
Wow. And now you are in the morning.
Yeah, it's getting
Wow.
better and better. I'm actually going to be promoted to the next realm because I did this interview.
Wow. I love
But
speaking with
more than that, I'm glad the musicians in heaven and the witches in heaven. We didn't talk much about witchcraft, but
you.
I hope that the witches and the musicians in heaven are really encouraged by my story. If you see me walking uh, down the road with a heavy load, well, come alongside and take the load off me. And
Wow.
and to all the people on earth that are listening, hope you enjoyed this conversation. Especially to the musicians that Matthew really doesn't know a lot of you. Um, we'll put in a special request for Tolu to think of other musicians. Maybe we can bring John Lennon on and Michael Jackson on to say some things and have some musicians speak in your language, not in
Mm.
Christianese, and have Tolu ask questions about music and heaven and hear about this God and this Jesus that seem to be totally different to the one you've heard all your life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. My last question, Amy. If you could say one thing directly to God now, what would it be?
I'm not sorry for making you cry. I'm not
Mm.
sorry for making you laugh. And I hope we have many times together in fellowship. And I hope as I work on my relationship and you and Jesus, that I can reach a stage where I don't need an invitation to come and see you from someone else, that I can come and see you because I want to see you.
Wow. Thank you, Amy. I really, really enjoy speaking with you. You're such a profound woman. Thank you. Matthew, did you enjoy that?
Yeah, Michael just told me that as my reward for doing this interview, I'll not only get promoted to the next realm, but I'll be invited to do a guest spot to sing 5 or 6 songs in the throne room, and I can just select the songs I want to rehearse and lead the worship on. And Corinne tells me that the best songs that I could probably choose is the songs about Matthew and
Wow.
to learn
Wow.
those songs. And if you
Wow.
do a good job, Corinne says you may be invited regularly. And if you're getting invited regularly, there's a good chance Matthew will take an interest in you. And
Well, Matthew already takes an interest in you already. You hear me? Matthew loves what is good. Man, I'm so surprised when Matthew said you got black hair. Yes, you are very long.
yeah,
I'm
I,
like,
I,
Matthew.
I could see her.
Oh, yes, and you've got very slim figure. You were so tiny while you were on Earth. I don't know whether you're still that same person, but slim. Wow, Matthew, that your eyes is always wandering around looking for more.
Wives.
More. Excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much,
Amy
Amy.
says
Really.
she'd be honored.
Oh, we love you,
So,
Amy.
so, um, uh,
Let's
so
let's
can
clap.
we finish this one uh, after I make a coffee? And
No,
can you can I make a coffee first, and
make a coffee and be quick.
then
I've only got
then then we
25.
round it up? And can you try and promise we only have about 15 minutes in the roundup?
Well, I've got 25 more minutes. I woke up early because of that. 10 minutes is not going to kill you, Matthew. Just go get your cup of coffee. Be back. I've got 25 minutes maximum
I'll go
to
to the front
spend.
and get a coffee and
Okay, go get coffee. I'll be right back.
up on me, Tolu.
Alicia, is that you? Oh, it's Eliora. Are you okay? Welcome back, Matthew. So I've got 2 minutes less now from my 25 minutes. So I've got 22 minutes thereabout now. So I've got to maximize it really well. So where do I start? Papa, how are you?
For the guys listening, Papa is God. He just calls him Papa. So I'm doing really good. Amy gave up my secret. If you sing sad songs, I smile. If you say happy songs, I cry.
Yeah, Papa, that's so strange. Why are you reacting in the opposite way?
Well, sad songs make me smile because I resonate with the pain. It
Wow.
makes me happy that you can sing a really sad song because I relate so much to it. So it makes me
Yeah.
smile because I know I've got a friend in you.
Wow.
When you sing happy songs, I can't really relate, so it makes me cry because I'm so sad.
Wow.
And
Man.
that was absolutely shocking to all the musicians and all the people listening. That is one of the most profound things I've ever heard. That their happy songs would make God cry, and their sad songs would make him smile.
Yeah.
And they're sort of so many of them are just going to write some sad songs now, just to uh, help God feel better.
Wow.
And they're going to
Papa.
try and stop writing the pop songs and the happy songs because they make him sad. And nearly every person listening wouldn't identify as a non-Christian, but through this interview, they want to say that they come to know Matthew, they come to know Amy, and they come to know God and Jesus in a way that, you know, before this interview they would think is impossible.
Hmm. Papa, you're full of amazement. You're full of secrets.
Yeah, well, I don't write my secrets in a book.
Well, I might write some of your secrets for you, Papa. I know them. Unless you tell me, don't share it all. Well, if it's going to help people to understand you better, I will share your secret and to meet your needs
You,
better.
you, you could write 100,000 page book
Mm.
and people would never understand me.
Wow, you're
But
right.
their God is themselves, and unless they stop worshipping themselves, they'll never come to understand me.
Wow. Self is the problem.
What's the problem?
Self.
Yeah. Yeah, and the whole media and everything sells self. And apparently, Christian church is full of teachers who promote being successful and wealthy and self. And they don't teach on how to be a more loving, compassionate person
Yeah.
and how to lift people up and bless people. Without money, how can, you know, you will never hear in a church to go out to your garbage collector and tell him he's doing a good job. Or you'll never
Absolutely.
hear at church that when you get served at a restaurant, you know, you
Say
might
thank
not be able to afford a good tip, but you can write on a napkin something you like about the waitress.
you.
I just thought I'd leave this here with the tip. You've got lovely legs, and you should be proud of them. Or whatever you see, like the best way to give a compliment is see something that you like and comment on it, right?
Wow.
Because see something you like is probably something they like. Uh,
Mm.
Matthew doesn't get many compliments rejected. They all land well because he just observant. And, he's
Wow.
never said to a girl, I really like your eyebrows. But if he ever seen some carefully constructed eyebrows that were
Mm.
impressive to him, he'd tell the girl, I really like your eyebrows. And she'd be happy because she spent good money getting them, you know. You don't have to think hard to give a compliment. Just be observant. And when you see things you like, speak out and tell the person.
Wow.
But they don't teach that in church. They don't
No.
teach you how to be a beautiful person. They don't
Mm.
teach you how to be loving. They teach you how to get a job and be successful and be rich.
Wow.
Tell, teach you how to pray and beg me for things and basically do idol worship. And they teach you how to be religious and rude uh, uh, and arrogant and condescending to people. But they don't teach you how to be a beautiful person.
No, because they don't even know what it is to be a beautiful person, Papa. They're ignorant themselves.
Bono from U2 just said, I've been listening to you for weeks, and that's one of the most profound things you've ever said. And I've never really thought about it because I like going to church, but I've never thought about it. That's true. They don't teach people how to be loving and caring and bless people and be nice and sweet to people, give compliments. And
Yeah.
so right. I could listen to you all day, Matthew, and I do listen to you all day, and I'm gonna write some really really sad songs now, and make God
Mm.
happy.
Wow.
Perhaps you want to bring me forward and interview me. A lot of musicians in the world would love to hear my perspective on life and God and music.
Is that in heaven? Is the person speaking to you is in heaven?
I know he's on earth.
Heaven, Marty. I'm heaven bound. I'm gonna get there where I'll switch, maybe. But for now, I've got so many people want to speak to you in heaven.
Yeah, there's a big line up in heaven of people that want to talk to you.
I want to talk to them as well. I love these conversations. Papa, are you going to draw Amy closer now?
What's that?
Are you going to draw Amy more
She,
closer?
she's got access now that she asked.
Oh,
She doesn't have to have David or John or Michael bring her in. She can come in anytime she likes.
oh, we love you, Papa.
And perhaps me and her can write some music together. I'm
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at writing poetry.
Oh, she's such a great singer, Papa. Oh, wow. You're always surprising me, Papa. Always surprising me. I love you so much. And it's good to understand you so much better from what people that know you say about you. It just expands my understanding of you deeper level. So, Papa, I love you.
Love you too.
I hope you continue to feel better. And I hope you're drawn more to joy now and letting go of your sadness bit by bit, Papa. When you're sad, Papa, just take one of your children's letter that's been written to you. Just read it to yourself and let that encourage you and let that change your mood. Okay, Papa?
I'll try my best.
Yeah, I love you. Wow. Hello, my darling Ben.
Ben's Tolu's husband. So
Oh,
I'm doing really good. Darling, did you like interviewing one of your favorite singers?
yeah.
Did
Hello.
did Matthew do a good job of bringing her
Oh,
voice?
oh, that was profound. That was profound. I think now that Matthew knows that people are watching him from there, it's changed.
Did you
It's more,
notice? Did you notice that change?
yeah, it's more energized and
Yeah.
it's more encouraged. Oh, I love that. Did you enjoy listening to that?
Yeah, I did. It was good to hear information about the life of an artist that
Mm,
you might never hear outside of an interview.
wow. Has Michael never discussed that with you?
Well, we've got private conversations that we've talked about all sorts of things, but um, Matthew doesn't recall it ever coming out in an interview he've done with Michael.
No, no, no. I mean behind the scene. Not,
Yeah, we
mm,
talk about all sorts of things.
yeah, yeah. No,
I've been
Michael.
I've been talking to Michael for so long that we spent 3 days at restaurants.
Speaking.
Yeah, just going from restaurant to cafe to the toilet to restaurants to cafes.
Wow. Yes, you're so close. You know each other so well.
Well, I know everything I invest in him is going to come out in better songs.
Wow.
So it's investment. I'm like, I'm putting gold into him and he's making statues.
Wow. Good. Ah, you guys are
I'm
so
putting
good.
gold into him, investing into him, and he's forming statues that people bow down to and worship.
Wow. Man, that's profound. I don't know what people are going to say from heaven, but your illustrations are, I'm always amazed by them. And then, Ben, you tell me it's not profound. It is profound. To me, it is. Wow. And listening, you know what Amy said about Papa? Did you know that sad song make him happy and happy song makes him sad?
I sort of knew that, but I've never heard it expressed as clearly as that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why a lot of the songs about Matthew makes him
Mm.
cry, but it's a combination of sadness and joy
Boy, wow.
because he knows Matthew's life is sad, but Matthew's
Mm.
life brings him a lot of joy too.
Wow, because he can resonate with Matthew so much better.
Yeah,
Wow. God has caused layers to him, don't you think?
Bethany, Bethany might be the most decorated angel in heaven, but
Yeah.
Matthew is God's favorite.
Oh, Matthew. Matthew, you're God's favorite.
God's favorite angel.
Favorite angel.
Yeah.
You're no longer an angel, Matthew.
Yeah,
You're
I
not
know,
a
but former
human.
angel.
Former angel. Oh, wow.
The
But you could say,
angel, the angel, like Matthew met this a woman at the top four in the Illuminati in the world today, and she said that she can tell, I can tell you're an angel because you're otherworldly. You've just got supernatural wisdom and intelligence, and no human possess what you possess.
wow.
It's good to, when you have a low self-esteem, it's good to hear someone say something that you remember makes you happy.
Wow. That's beautiful. I really enjoy speaking with Amy today.
Do you know a lot of the high-level Illuminati were former angels,
Wow.
and when they came out to do a good job, Satan just snatched them up.
Daniel, oh my God. That really resonates.
Yeah. Epstein was an angel,
Wow.
and
So,
he's crying now because uh, he sort of, since he met Matthew and heard his story, he sort of believed that about himself, but he thought he's been delusional, and now he's crying because he knows it's real.
Wow.
You think Matthew's bad, sleeping with 1,000 women and doing
Yeah,
sexual things with cyber friends, but
yeah,
imagine being Epstein and Epstein's reputation. That's like a really naughty angel.
yeah. Very, very naughty angel.
Angels have never sinned, and Epstein came and set the record straight when he came to Earth.
Well, because he wasn't an angel anymore. And he's probably forgotten that he used to be an angel. That's the problem. We don't even know who we were before we came to the earth. Wow. I love you, Ben.
I love you too, darling. Hi, Mum.
Hello, Emmanuel. Always love to hear from you.
I sort of, I'm starting to assert my right to speak after Dad.
Yeah.
You don't need dinner table conversations anymore because you have dinner table conversations here.
Oh, yeah. I love the way you've got such boldness now. Is that from Vanessa?
Well, you can recognize it, can't you?
Yeah, there's difference about you now. Used to be shy before. Not any longer, isn't it, Manuel? Hmm? What do you think? Did I guess that right?
Yeah.
Wow. Much happier.
You don't guess, you speak out of a spiritual knowing.
Wow. It would be good to interview you and Vanessa together, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, but that'd be pretty boring.
Why will it be boring, Manuel?
I don't really like getting interviewed by you.
I know, I know. I've come to understand that now, so don't worry. I won't do that to you again. I'll just allow you to speak anytime you want to speak, like these old dinner table conversations where you're not on the hot seat, isn't it? Can you start?
Thank you, Mum.
Oh, love you, Manuel. Did you enjoy the interview today?
Yeah, it was a lot of information to learn.
Yeah. And you knew about God. You knew that about God, don't you?
Yeah, but it's always good to hear it again. There's
Wow.
certain things that are truths that you know, but it's good to hear it
Wow.
again. You know, people have heard all the time Christ is King, but what
Mm.
about Christ being your boss?
Hmm.
People haven't heard that. They certainly
No.
wouldn't like to hear it. Or
Yeah.
people have heard Paul say uh, he's a slave to Christ, but no
Yeah.
one likes to say that of themselves. They certainly
Wow.
wouldn't want to be a slave to Christ.
No, 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 no,
They certainly wouldn't want to work for no wages.
no. Bond servant. I love that word Paul uses in the Bible. I'm a bond servant to God. And that's bond servant doesn't mean that you don't have freedom. You're still free, but you're still a bond servant. Balancing those two things can be quite tricky. Thank you, Emmanuel. Oh, wow. Matthew, let me say hello to my papa, my second papa.
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm good. How are you,
You
Daddy?
you did the world proud. All the
Oh,
musicians listening proud. You
oh,
asked some good questions. Some of them are saying, in the mountain, they're saying that they listened to all of Amy Winehouse interviews because they really followed her when she was on Earth. And a lot of them are saying that was the very best interview they've heard from her.
wow. That's beautiful, isn't it?
She's
Daddy,
not bound. She's not going to lose record sales for that one.
so she can be herself.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you listened to Amy's music before, Daddy?
Ah,
No.
Matthew can't hear my answer, so uh,
Okay. I know. Well, just listen. Daddy, if you've never listened, go listen to her music. She's such a good singer. Yeah. Thank you, Daddy. I love you.
I love you
Tiffany,
too.
Tiffany,
Hello, Tolu. How are you?
I'm good. Are you happy? I spoke to
Yeah.
someone
I've
from
been
the man.
visiting all the girls on the mountain, taking the girls down from my mountain to introduce them to the girls on the Earth Mountain. And
Wow.
I can split my spirit up into millions of things. And so I've introduced my girls, and all the girls on Earth have got mentors, and things are
Wow.
coming
Together.
along. They're coming along really fast.
Wow. Just continue the work, Tiffany, so that we can come home on time. Me
Yeah.
and Matt. Oh, I love you. Did you enjoy hearing from Amy today?
Yeah, it was refreshing.
Oh, it's good to speak to more people from the mountain of witchcraft. I just love you guys. I love your mindset. You think differently. So thank you. Matthew is just looking at me like there's no longer energy in him. Hello, Jesus. I can't close without not saying hello to you. They will say, Tolu, you're religious, but just leave me with my religion. Hello, Jesus. I love you.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Did you enjoy the conversation today?
Yeah, I like hearing truth and honesty and people without
Wow.
marks and people with
Wow.
prepared answers and giving answers that they think people will like. I like
Wow.
raw honesty.
Wow. And that was raw honesty.
Yeah.
Wow. I love you, Jesus. And last but not the least, Holy Spirit, I love you as well.
I love you too.
Thank you for orchestrating today's interview.
Yeah,
Love you.
thank you for listening to me,
Yeah.
being obedient.
Thank you, Holy Spirit. So, Matthew, you
Rightio.
can.
Thank you everyone for listening, and God bless everyone listening in heaven, everyone listening on earth, and the people on earth that have listened to this video on YouTube. Please do your best to encourage me with some feedback as a comment. God bless.